I'm going to do a series of messages because I have many topics that have been accumulating, and I have a little notes. I have a little note on my phone that kind of, just some bullet point ideas. And I was like looking them over yesterday. I was like, I love these topics. I love these topics. I'm so excited to share these topics with you all. So I'm going to do a series of videos today. I'm really working on becoming more consistent with this. Becoming more consistent with this. It's a lot of working through certain insecurities and just inconsistencies within myself. So I don't know. I do feel always very strong desire to share these things, to share things about, share things from what I'm seeing in the world and just how I'm experiencing life. It's such a beautiful journey, I feel when it comes down to what I'm really experiencing, it seems to be a unique experience and a unique perspective. I know I'm a unique person. I'm not saying I'm the only person out there like me, because I always meet people that resonate with me on certain levels, but I want to share because my perspectives and my experiences have just, it's literally like I helped myself to transform the way I experience life. And after all of those little, I'm still doing it, but life is beautiful, and we all experience life in a unique, fraction of the whole perspective, if that makes sense. I don't know. Blah, blah, blah. Blabber, blabber. Blabber, blabber. So, the first topic of this first message is this concept of, I heard this a lot as a kid. This is about reducing, reusing, and recycling. I feel funny saying this because I feel like I'm always just bringing in very ethereal, conceptual ideas, but this is a very physical, tangible, very material concept and topic. This is about the material. This message is about the material world. This is about the material world. Okay. Material world. How's it going, Jackie? Hello, puppy. Material. This is about the material world. Resuming. So I'll bring in the conceptual, ethereal, ooh la la, of my brain and of my life and of myself. So, there was a few years that I went through this period of crisis in terms of my physical things, because I was just I hate all of this stuff. I hate all of it. I felt like having physical possessions, I felt like it was just carrying all this junk around. I was just carrying junk around. It had no meaning to me. Well, it had meaning, but it was I don't need any of this. I felt like it was just weight. Now, part of that was just sentimental value of the things that I did have, and also what I was going through emotionally, spiritually, and what I was processing, and what I was having to navigate and let go of. but it was just a very interesting time. It was a very interesting time. And like I'm still like very I feel like I've balanced out. I feel like I'm to a point where, I just emphasize my focus on like things like physical possessions, physical belongings that actually are like very precious to me, like I'd rather have just like, you know, belongings that mean a lot to me. So that have greater value to me rather than just all these little like whatever oddities of, things like the things that this society just, I don't know, it's a consumerist society. It's all about consuming and about buying things and about just all the things that we need, even though like I'd prefer to like condense it down. I'm very minimalistically minded. I think it's better to have one thing that serves multiple purposes and is valuable rather than to have like 5 things to accomplish 5 different purposes. Like think about how you can use one thing in many, many ways. Anyway, so I just went through this whole series of growth understandings. I don't know. I went through this whole series of experiences of how I relate to physical possessions. And yeah. Like if things don't bring you joy, don't I don't know. Even if they have sentimental value, like if it doesn't bring you joy, it's taking your energy. It's taking energy from you. So, reduce, reuse, recycle. I think that's a good way to begin in terms of the reduce concept. Like one thing that is kind of relevant in the context of this society is like when you buy things, like some people be like keeping everything in like these little plasticky stuff, and just like it's all plastic. There's so much plastic. Something that I love to do is I love to remove all wrapper plastic stuff. I like to keep food in like mason jars. I like to I just like that. I like that. Instead of keeping it in a plastic bag, having it in a glass jar. Like, that's so nice. That's so nice. You're not like this, even just the sound of it, like the sound, first of all, the glass jar, it's not making no sound when you pick it up. You unscrew the lid, like, whereas if it's a plastic bag, it's like, it's funny. So yeah, reduce, and again, like I said, finding items, prioritizing having items that you can use for multiple purposes. It's so nice. It's so nice. Like, it's so nice. So satisfactory to me to just, utilize quality items to the fullest of their extent by using them for many different things and intentionally using them. You came to this earth with one thing, and that's your physical body, period. You didn't even have clothes. You had your body. So that's our greatest, your body's your home and also a tool for you. Now, any other physical thing, physical item in this world, it's all just tools. Even the things that are merely for, aesthetic beauty and pleasure, they are all merely tools. So how are you utilizing your tools? How are you caring for, your stewardship, basically? That's been a big theme I'm thinking about the last few days. Because I realized that when I take care of my own responsibilities, everything that I need is added unto me. It's added to me. if I just take care intentionally of what I already do have, then anything else that I need is accessible to me. Anything else that I want is accessible to me. So take care of your belongings. Be intentional about them, because your life will get a lot more clear. You know, a lot of people have. I mean, it's so normal in a consumer society. It's normal to hoard things, to have just all sorts of stuff. Like, we get overwhelmed with the amount of physical things that we have. The thing that I see is, like, every physical thing and the way our relationships with physical things reflects the way that we carry emotional things, mental things. Like, if somebody is completely overwhelmed internally, well, first of all, I think if you overwhelm yourself with physical things externally, there's tickled me. I think a lot of times physical things then leads to, I don't know, it's all a reflection. It's all a reflection. But I do think it's easier and more, like, obvious to our brains to collect physical things. So then you start getting cluttered physically. Your emotions in your mind doesn't even have room to, like, be released, like, into the physical space, because there's already so much physical stuff in the physical space. So, yeah, try to reduce, try to simplify, and to use your tools well. The next topic is reuse. 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 So, I'm actually going to, we have, like, a recycling system, okay, like, something we call recycle, like, you know, put the plastic in the plastic bin and the paper in the paper bin. Okay, cool. We covered that. Well, I think, too, one thing I'll say about that is that, like, you know, I lived in Taiwan for some time, and they were very, very intentional about all of that. I think in the United States sometimes, well, especially where I'm living in the United States, I think people don't care too much. Like, some people care, but a lot of people don't really care. They just like throw the garbage away. Throw all the garbage away. And they don't care to, like, it's just garbage. Rather than, this is material. This is substance. This is material. And it's gonna go somewhere after I chuck it in the trash. I think there's just a lot of disconnect there, I think. And just, it's kind of like something like they give you a trash bin, they give you a recycle bin, and that's all. That's all it is. There's no general education about recycling, so get more educated. That's what I'll say, is, like, try to be more educated, try to be more intentional about the way you recycle within systematic systems. The second thing, this is what's really important to me in this message. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. Reuse and recycle. Reuse and recycle. These things I'm gonna put hand in hand, because where I'm coming from in this is, like, I realized this is an art. This is an artistic approach. This is a creative approach to this concept. To reuse and to recycle. I had this like little epiphany thing that was like, to be an artist is to utilize, to make use, and to make beauty of what is presently, physically in front of you. There's a lot of material, like, I'm gonna take it to a basic. You know those plastic bags that you get at the grocery store? Plastic bags, okay? Plastic bags. A lot of times maybe we'll reuse them, and we'll we'll make it a little small trash bag. It's a small trash bag, right? Reusing, well, I mean, that's nice because then you stretch out the use instead of using it once to carry groceries home and then just chucking it, throwing it away. This is something like I'm working on and I want to do, but at a certain point in the past, I started making rope. I started making rope with these plastic bags, and I was thinking of all the things I could make with them. I could weave baskets with these. I could, just make sturdy, useful things that can be used, because those plastic bags, it's ridiculous. They are ridiculous. They're seriously ridiculous. Because so many times, because of how just abundant they are, I think people don't really care about them. They don't utilize them. But they're plastic. They don't just deteriorate with the earth for a very long time. I don't even know. Those bags can be on the earth for years and years and years. They will not disintegrate. So we have to be wise. It's a strong material. You can use it for other things. And that's with how much packaging, from boxes to plastic bags, plastic nets, your avocados come in a little plastic net, or garlic sometimes comes in a plastic net. Just reusing these materials and transforming it, to be intelligent, to be creative, to be an artist, I'll say, is to literally look at these materials and say, oh, how can I use this? How can I utilize this? How can I transform this and create something that is, again, useful to me? Again, because in a consumerist world, we have this mentality of okay, it's new, I use it, or I receive the thing and I chuck it, I throw it away. This is garbage. But is it garbage? or can you be creative with it? So that is reusing and recycling. Just become creative. Be creative. Because then we take a world that's full of trash and we actually create a world that's full of art, a world that's full of innovation, a world that's full of creation and creativity and inspiration. There's nothing more inspiring than to see something that has been transformed into beauty and to creative solutions. Okay? So yeah, let's care for the stewardship of our belongings. When you are buying something, you're not just buying the thing inside the package, you're also buying the package. What can we do with this? What can we do with it? So that's my little message about reducing, reusing, and recycling, and caring for our physical belongings. Many blessings. I hope this message finds you well. See you next time.